Welcome back to the broadcast. Important that you're part and parcel of this conversation. Hashtag Morning Cafe at Linda_Alela TV47KA. Drop those comments and we get to sample as we proceed. I know you could be having lots of questions in regards to today's show. It's a continuation of what we had last week on the misconceptions and the myths that revolve around losing weight. When we talk about losing weight, we know very many people are interested in this, and the vice versa, because then they'd be like, okay, if I'm not losing weight, then how do I get to that weight? Actually, when I put the poster somewhere, someone, sent me a text and said, I need a special one on adding weight, sincerely speaking, because mine is crucial and is dire. So I think we're going to have that conversation sometimes also. And but before that, let's first wind up on this. We had several myths that we looked at, and we want to proceed to look at some more of them that will come in handy towards, demystifying those myths that we talk about when you want to lose weight. It is possible to actually lose weight, but then you have to do it the nutritional way. You have to ensure that you get to balance. I picked so much at that particular session last week with our very own Emily Wahome, who's a nutritional consultant or nutritionist consultant. I do not know which one is right. She will be telling us that. And, she said if you were actively, doing something to ensure that you lose weight, ensure that that thing is safe for you in terms of nutrition. Ensure that you do not harm yourself, you do not hurt yourself, you do not deny yourself the necessary nutritional values that you would need for yourself. So Emily is here with us again to expound some more on that and give us the latest again of the myths that we have on board. Good morning.
Good morning.
I did a long introduction. Forgive me for that. I had to just bring us back to where we were last time.
I think that's quite crucial. So I think we continue from where we left last week.
Yeah.
But before we maybe continue with the other myths, I have another 5. We did 5 last week. So the ones that we looked at last week is one of them was skipping meals.
Yes.
We said that we avoid skipping our meals, and majorly there are the 3 big meals, our breakfast, our lunch, and dinner. We try and ensure as much as possible we are having those meals. And skipping meals, we said, is not one of the ways of losing weight.
Yeah.
The other one was taking loads and loads of water, saying that actually will make me lose weight as a standalone.
Yeah.
And we said that is not the truth, but water is very essential. Hydration is very essential for our overall health.
Yeah.
But then I cannot use that for weight loss.
Yeah.
Then the other one, we talked about actually starving yourself, like not having food, not having adequate food. And we said that as you lose weight, you ensure that you're not depriving yourself very important nutrients that you need, because then if you have I may lose weight, but I am getting deficient of some nutrients, then that becomes counterproductive, because if I lose weight and then I'm becoming malnourished, then you see I'm not going to be healthy.
Yeah.
You see. Then the other one was doing exercise, and the more pain I feel, then it means that's how I'm losing weight.
Yeah.
And we said exercise is one of the components. Physical activity is one of the components of losing weight. But we said just physical activity by itself will not ensure that I lose weight. So I have to combine physical activity, I have to combine it with my diet, I have to make sure that I sleep adequately, I have to manage my stress levels.
Yeah.
So it's not, we don't have one specific standalone activity that will lead to weight loss. It's a combination of health habits that will eventually lead to weight loss.
Okay.
So now, when we come to today, I think then we have other myths also that's around weight loss that we need to demystify. So that then, as we move forward, maybe to advising people how now they lose weight in a healthy way, they are back in our mind, and we know that this will not work for me. So one of them is that people say that carbohydrates will make you gain weight. You see, that is just a statement. And actually this has led to people making carbohydrates their enemy.
Yeah.
So you find people who now are restricting carbohydrates completely. So my diet is deficient of carbohydrate completely. Now, that statement by itself is not correct.
Yeah.
It's not scientifically correct, because it's not really the carbohydrate that will make you gain weight. What is important is the quality of the carbohydrate that you're having.
Quality or quantity? Quality.
Quality first.
Okay.
And then quantity.
All right.
Those two aspects are very important. So previously we've spoken about complex carbohydrates and simple or refined carbohydrates.
Okay.
So where we go wrong is mostly what we take. The carbohydrate we take is not the complex carbohydrate. We take the simple and the refined carbohydrates. And I think we've explained previously. Like maize that has been processed and removed the essential fatty acids, that is maize that is processed. So you find the maize flour that we have in the packets in the supermarket, actually now that is refined. But the one that I take from the portion meal is not refined, it's whole. It has fiber, it has essential fatty acids, and it has all the nutrients because it has not been stripped of anything.
Yeah.
So first of all, the quality of carbohydrate. Then the quantity. How do I portion that carbohydrate? When it comes to my plate, that is also something else.
Yeah.
So basically, it's not that the carbohydrate is what that makes us gain weight. It's the amount of the carbohydrate I'm taking. If I consume a large amount of carbohydrate, and especially the refined, the processed one, then that definitely will make me gain weight eventually because it means that I'm having excessive glucose at the end of the day in my blood because this is converted into glucose when it goes into my body, and excess glucose is stored as fat in the body. Yeah. At the end of it all, when your body uses whatever glucose is there for energy, whatever excess is there, it will be stored as fat. And unfortunately, we say that fat most of the time it deposits where? Around our stomach, and which is the most unhealthy fat around our stomach.
Actual fatty foods, maybe this should be another myth. I'd want to know, when you take excessive fat, then automatically they say you will grow big, you will become plump, or, more fat, the fat, you become, I don't want to say fat, more fat. Yes. So more fat, you become more fat. Yes. Is it true?
Okay, there's some truth in it, and that is actually the second myth, because there's the other statement where people say that fat makes you fat. Okay. But again, I'll also ask the quality and the quantity of fat I'm taking. All right. By the way, fat is a component of a healthy diet. Yeah, our bodies need fat for cholesterol. Our bodies need cholesterol. Yeah. Our body organs need fat to function properly. So we cannot completely remove fat from our diet. Yeah. And I think as we continue with this discussion, what we all need to understand, nutrition is more about balance. Yeah. Balance is very, very important. So when I'm taking my carbohydrate, when I'm taking my fat, when I'm taking my protein, when I'm taking my vegetables, when I'm taking my fruits, the balance aspect is actually very, very important. Yeah. Because even if fruits and vegetables, they are healthy, we say we should have, our diet should be having plenty of fruits and vegetables. If I consume excessive, especially fruits, we say they are rich in a sugar that we call fructose. That may impact on my health again, because they are high in sugar. So it doesn't mean that if a particular food we say it is healthy, then I overconsume. Or if I say fruits are healthy, then that is what I'm having. I find people with bowls of fruits over lunch hour. I don't know if you've seen. Yeah. People not having food for lunch, and then they have a bowl of fruit for their lunch. A big bowl of fruit, actually. Yes. So I think these are the things that we need to demystify and also look at them and also understand, so that then whatever we are doing is healthy and whatever we are doing is good for our health. So saying that taking fat will make you fat if there is overconsumption of fat. Okay. Overconsumption of fat and then low physical activity. You see, we have said that over time you become sedentary because of the way the life has become. Yeah. Most of us are working in offices, we have means of transport, so we don't have activities that make us to become active without even thinking about it. It is very different from those people who are going to the farm. Yeah. So you find yourself, if you're not deliberate about physical activity, you may find yourself completely sedentary because you don't have instances that will make you keep moving. Yeah. So if you overconsume fat, yes, it can make you fat. And then also the quality of fat you're consuming. Yeah. We have different types of fats. We have what we call saturated fats. We have what we call unsaturated fats. So the healthier fats are the unsaturated. Okay. So what are you taking? So you usually tell people to take fats that are low cholesterol, and most of the time are the ones that are liquid. Like when you look at olive oil, I know most people don't use it. because it's expensive. But when you look at it, it's group under a group that you call monounsaturated fatty acids. So it's more healthy.
Okay.
But if you want to get natural fats that are even healthier, we can get them from things like avocado. It's in fat in natural form. We get them from nuts like peanuts, almonds, and all that.
Yeah.
That is natural fat, and they still give us fat. So it's not the cooking fat only. There are fats also in other foods that we can take. So I think what is important is the amount of fat we are taking, and also the quality of fat we are taking, versus also our physical activities. So that is very important for us to know. So that then you are not making fat your enemy, and you remove fat completely from your diet,
meals,
and then you start experiencing some health problems.
Speaking of fat, fat from nyama, you know, like from beef itself, or maybe all these meats that we have around. Sometimes, you know, they're fatty kind of meats. Is that natural fat?
I don't know what I would say about that, but we usually say that animal fat is not the best. We usually say that the fat from vegetables, the vegetable oils, and also when you take the fat from like the way I've said, seeds, from something like avocado, it will be a healthier fat than that is from animal. In terms of metabolism and processing, the fat from animals that we get from meat is not fat that is very healthy to keep consuming, and that's the reason why we are told to trim off the fat from our meat when you are having the meat. But of course, it will also depend on how often are you taking that meat. There are people who consume meat on every other meal. What amount of meat are you going to have, and also how fatty is it? So those are some of the things that you look at the end of the day.
All right, so that's amazing. Then we have some more myths here. Dietary supplements, meal replacement formulas, and the quickest way of losing weight. I do not know whether that is true, whether that makes so much sense, but in most cases you'll find that someone would want to do all that. Run to supplements. You're told, oh, they go on ions instead of having your veggies and all that. This will come in handy to help you, does it?
Okay, the weight loss industry is a big industry.
Yes.
And different manufacturers are coming up with different supplements, meal replacement formulas to help people lose weight. Because like we said, weight loss is not easy. It's not easy. Anybody who is overweight and who has obesity, they can tell you, most of them really struggle to lose weight. But at the end of the day, we said it's possible. But someone has to really be patient with themselves. It's not something that will happen with 1 week, 2 weeks, and 3 weeks. And the reason why most people are rushing to crash diets, like the ones we have said previously, is because those diets most of the time help you lose weight quite quickly. But we said the challenge is they are not able to keep off that weight later. If, for example, I go on something like detox, it's something that people use. I'm on a juice. You know, I blend a juice or a smoothie, and that's what I'm taking. I'm not taking any fat. I'm not taking probably any protein and carbohydrates. I'm just doing that juice. And most of the time, you see people saying 60% fruit, 40% vegetable in that juice that you're blending. So we said, unfortunately, how long can you last on that? You're depriving yourself some important vitamins and minerals, and also you're depriving yourself proteins and carbohydrates at the same time. So how long can you be on that? And the minute after I finish the 10 days, yes, I've lost weight. When I come back now to my normal lifestyle, then it means that I put on back the weight. So we said consistency, having something that is consistent, that is consistent and becomes part of your lifestyle, then it is more better than going on a crash diet. So when it comes to supplements and meal replacement formulas, yes, I know and I've seen many. And actually, most people, when they use them, they work. They lose some weight. Why do they lose some weight? Most of these replacement formulas and supplements, they contain fiber. So you'll be given a tablet of fiber. Fiber, we have said that it makes you feel fuller for longer. So I will not want to go and eat food. When I'm feeling full, I'll not go and eat food, definitely. I will stay away from food. So that fiber tablet that you're taking makes you feel full. So you refrain from taking too much food. That is number one aspect in meal replacement. Then the meal replacement, they usually give you a powder that you dilute with water, and that powder usually has they say that it has all the nutrients. I don't know whether any study has been done to analyze that powder to find out whether it has all the nutrients that it claims it has. Once you take that, like it's called replacement because I don't take my normal dinner, I take that, and it's a full meal. So what that does is that the portion that I'm given probably it's not in terms of calories. Most of them have around 500, between 300 and 500. So you find that maybe the calories that I've been taking in my diet were more than this meal replacement. So definitely I lose weight. So they actually work. But the question still remains. I cannot be on that supplement and meal replacement forever. I will have to stop it at some time. When I stop it and I come back to the diet that I was having, am I not going to gain back the weight?
You will.
And therefore, we go back to what we have said previously, that whatever we are choosing, let's choose something that is part of our lifestyle. That we don't have to struggle with it every day. I'm moving from this diet to this. This one, when it works, I lose like 5 kgs. I go back to my lifestyle. I gain weight again. I rush to another one. You know, then it becomes a roller coaster. I don't think that should be the case. So they work at first, but how sustainable are they?
Speaking of which, actually, starving oneself is one thing that has been considered as a myth, or has been considered as an easy way and quick way to lose weight. So as you starve yourself, really, just how consistent can it be? It has worked for some people for years, but what are the end effects?
You see, anytime that you're starving yourself, one of the factors or one of the things that you will see, your body sugars or the glucose keep fluctuating. Anytime I've gone for a long period without eating, my sugars go very low. And then when I take a meal, they spike. So you find that the graph is always like this. So first of all, that is not healthy.
Good.
That is not healthy at all. And also, when I starve, the next time I'm having a meal, there is an aspect of over-consuming. Because you see, I am starving and I really want food. And also we said when we are now get to food, most of the time you look for something that will fix you very fast. Because you're having a hunger pang, you're having a sugar low, you'll look for something that will fix that thing very fast. You know, that hunger pang so fast. So you'll go for something that is high in sugar. And therefore, you find that at the end of the day, it becomes counterproductive and you may not even lose the weight that you're looking for. So instead of starving, it is better you're having all your meals, and then we ensure that whatever you're having is healthy and in the right portion. And then you are having your physical activity. I think that one will be more sustainable than when I skip my meals. And then I'm having probably 1 meal in a day. When I'm having that 1 meal in a day, first of all, there is aspect of over-consuming, having high sugary foods, and also because my body is in a starvation mode, it will want to hold everything. It will want to store everything for the next, before the next meal comes up.
Okay, they also say that some foods speed up your metabolism rate. Is it true? And you know, sometimes you're encouraged, eat this food so much if you want to lose weight. So at least the metabolism rate will be high. It shoots up, then you're able to lose weight very fast.
I've seen those claims, but scientifically and through research, there is no confirmed food that actually speeds up your metabolism. The only scientifically known ways of speeding up your metabolism actually is physical activity. Anytime I have any form of physical activity, whether I'm jogging or I'm running on a treadmill or I'm doing strength training, I'm lifting weights, that is a sure way of speeding up your metabolism. But there are these liquids, like I know apple cider vinegar is one of them. You're told you take it, it will speed up your metabolism. Those are claims that have not been scientifically proven. So as a scientist, I cannot actually say yes to that because we have not seen any proof to that.
And any food,
Yes, and even the different diets that are there in the market today that are selling, by the way, in a big way, even in the US and even here in Kenya, the reason why as professionals we cannot say yes to them is because there is no scientific study that has been done, and we followed people to actually see that this particular diet has led to weight loss and it does not have negative effects on the health of people. So I think that's another area that as scientists we need to focus on, because people are using them. yeah, like the keto diet, the intermittent fasting, they are being used, and people are losing weight. So as scientists, we are challenging ourselves to conduct research in those areas.
All right.
And find out, yes, people are losing weight, but what are the long-term effects of using these things? So that then people have the right knowledge, people have the right information, and I don't lose weight and then I've impacted negatively on my health. I find at the end of the day, some of my organs maybe were compromised in the process, or I'm having some micronutrient deficiencies at the end of it. So those are some of the things that we need to really look at and ensure and give the right information to the public, so that then whatever I'm choosing it based on knowledge and not based on hearsay. People posting photos before and after, and then I rush to it.
Well,
so I think that is very, very important for us to do. Yeah,
I'm just imagining how much pressure the befores and afters, give people. You know, they can really put so much pressure on someone.
Yes.
And yes, they say you spoke about exercise, which is very important.
Yeah.
But there's one myth here that if your weight is okay, you really do not have to exercise, and or maybe just be cautious about your diet in any way. And I'll tell you for free, sometimes some of us who are a little bit not so big tend to have that a lot. And even for skincare, if you have a nice skin naturally, glowing skin naturally, you do not put so much care as you would supposed to do. Is that okay when you want to lose weight? Is that fine? I mean, should you just be comfortable? Because after all, God was very nice to you. They say so he put so much energy and towards ensuring that you look so good.
Yeah, right. So actually, cholesterol, I'll say that cholesterol is not physical. Sometimes you look at big, overweight and obese people and think, these people are very unhealthy.
Okay.
But let me tell you, you can be very lean, Linda, like you. You're lean and you're not big.
Yes.
But then based on the diet, I've had people say, even like when I was in campus, I had a friend who kept saying, I need to grow, my hips need to grow bigger.
Yes.
And therefore I need to take more fries. She was always taking fries. She was always taking, this chicken from Chicken Inn and all that.
Yeah.
But because I was already doing nutrition, I was telling her, my dear, this is very dangerous, because what you're doing, you're piling up on the bad cholesterol. It is not showing, but when I go to do what we call your body composition, I'll find you having very high body fat percentage versus your muscle mass, bone mass. So that is a misconception. It doesn't mean that when I'm very lean, I am healthy.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean when I'm lean, I should not do physical activity. Sometimes you meet people in the gym and they ask you, then why are you struggling? Why are you here working out? So first of all, exercise is not for weight loss only.
Okay.
Weight loss is for fitness. Exercise,
yes,
is for fitness and general health, not just for weight loss. So I'll not be going to the gym, or I'll not be going for my morning jog so that I can lose weight, so that I can keep fit, so that I can increase my metabolism. Remember, I said exercise is one of the ways of increasing our metabolism. Yeah. So if I want to continue speeding up my metabolism so that I continue burning more fat, I do exercise. If I want to keep away the bad cholesterol, I have to do physical activity. So if you are lean, thank God you are. But please do not go eating all the junk food that you can, taking all highly sugary foods that you can, because you cannot grow bigger. That will impact on your health. You'll find yourself in the later years, suffering maybe from some of these non-communicable diseases, and you'll be asking yourself, but I've not been overweight, I've not been obese. But when you come to me as a nutritionist, I do your body composition. I'll find you having high body fat percentage, high cholesterol levels, and then we start dealing with them at that particular point. So a healthy diet is for everybody. Whether you are lean, whether you're overweight, whether you're obese. All of us need to have a healthy diet. All of us need to be physically active and physically fit.
Well, incredible. For a moment listening to you, I pick and I gather so much lessons from that. But after doing some of these things, it looks like it's so complicated, or based on what we've seen out here. And some people tend to give up and say, you know what, poteliambali, I guess it is almost impossible to lose weight.
Yes, people say it is impossible to lose weight. I've had people say that. But imagine that is not the truth.
Oh, yeah?
I have seen people lose weight. Since the time I left school and I started practicing, I have practical examples of people who committed to weight loss. First of all, because anytime I am overweight, I go to the hospital, or I go to the clinic, I go to the dietitian, and they tell me I'm overweight. What should ring in my mind is that that is not healthy.
Yes.
And therefore, I should be concerned about it and not stressed about it. Concerned about it, not stressed about it.
Okay.
So that then I start working towards the positive part of it.
Okay.
And we've said before that if I want quick results, and in anything that you do in life, you will not get quick results. So even in weight loss, I don't expect I start a journey with my dietitian or my nutritionist, and then I lose weight in 1 week, in 2 days. So it's something that is progressive.
Okay.
So if I'm very committed to it, and I follow the advice that I'm being given, for sure, people lose weight. And practically people are there who have been overweight, who have been obese. They have worked with a dietitian, nutritionist, and they have lost weight. So that thing of saying that it is not possible to lose weight, that is not true. And the reason why we say you go to experts, as we are starting your weight loss, I said, apart from diet and exercise, there are other things we want to look into. We want even to look at hormones, your hormones. Are you having hormonal imbalance? Because that can also impact on your weight loss. Are you having stress? Are you having enough sleep? All those things, at the end of the day, will help you lose weight or not. So it's not just, we are not just going to look at diet and exercise only. We are going to go deeper into that. And therefore, so that we can guide you. And we say weight loss is individualized. Whatever advice will be given to another person may be different from the way the other person will be given advice, depending on the assessment. Once you do assessment, especially nutrition assessment, and you do your body composition, then we are guided by that or by those results to say, now this is the regimen that we are going to follow, or this is what we need for you to be able to lose weight. And for sure, if you work with an expert and you follow what that you've agreed, weight loss is actually very possible. But of course, you must commit to it. It doesn't just come on a silver platter, and nothing comes on a silver platter.
I agree.
Anything good, you must
work hard for it.
You must work for it. You must do it, and let me say, it's worth it. It is worth it. Sincerely, it is worth it, because if I'm being told this overweight and obesity that I have, eventually it may not be impacting on my health today, but after a few years, if I'm being told it's a risk to type 2 diabetes, for example, and it is actually, overweight and obesity is one of the risk factors of type 2 diabetes, and it's on the rise, then as an individual, I think I should be concerned. And if I get advice from the experts, then I should follow that advice. I should work with that particular consultant until we get to our goal. And the goodness of doing that is you're not going to relapse. There's, we say that once you form a habit, then it's very difficult to relapse because it becomes part of your lifestyle. So if you're overeating, you see now you've started another lifestyle of having your portions in the right way. So you adjust to that, and then it becomes part of your lifestyle. If you get used to physical activity, like you choose, I want to be having a walk every evening after work, but I want to be jogging every morning before I go to work. The day you don't do it, you feel it. And therefore you'll want to do it. So I think what I would say is that let's move towards a good and healthy lifestyle other than quick fixes. Because quick fixes are not sustainable, and they will not, at the end of it all, lead us maybe to our goals. We keep losing weight, gaining it, losing weight, gaining it. So I think having a healthy lifestyle is what really will work for us.
Processed foods, and you march, and I'd love to know, how do you shop? You march into the supermarket, and all you can look for is foods that are labeled that have less fat or low fat, reduced fat for that matter. Do they call it lactose free or something of the sort? That's what you go out there shopping with the aim of saying to it that these ones help you lose weight. Is it true? Is it applicable? Or this one is special for situations where you've been told by the doctor that these are the foods that you're supposed to eat?
Okay, that's a good question. Unfortunately, as consumers, most of the time we don't have the right knowledge, and I'll say I'm also sometimes a culprit. You buy a product, maybe a new product that you've not used before, and you actually don't even read very well. And even now, when you are not even a professional in that area, like if I look at the packet and you see this has this number of kilocalories, you see, if I'm not a nutritionist or I'm not in the health, I may not even be able to translate or understand what this is.
Yeah.
So manufacturers use those big words like low fat. Low fat, because when I see low fat and I'm losing weight and I don't want to take too much fat, or now fat has become an enemy.
Yes, you will go for that way.
This is a product for me. Unfortunately, most of these products that are low fat or have been stripped of fat, you find those are the products now that are also high in sugar.
Okay.
After the fat has been stripped off, for them to be palatable and for them to be nice to the taste buds, they have to put sugar. Okay. So yes, they may be low in the amount of fat, but then they're high in sugar. So at the end of the day, they may not really help you the way you intended them to help you. Yeah, so unfortunately that is what is there in the market.
Right.
So I think there's a lot of consumer education also that needs to be out here. As we are procuring and as we are buying our products, we need maybe to be more aware. Yeah. If a product has a claim, is that true? Is that really all the time true?
No.
No, it isn't. Sometimes it's just for marketing purposes.
Okay.
And some of those products are, yes, low in fat, but high in sugar. So if I am buying them to help me lose weight, then at the end of the day, it will not help me.
Okay.
It's high in sugar.
All right.
Yeah.
So while we say on this side that it is possible to lose weight, is it a question of willpower or it's biology for someone to be obese or for someone to be extremely big?
Okay. Now, remember I said that weight loss is a complex issue. Yeah. Because most of the time, it's not majorly about diet and exercise only. Yeah. There is also a genetic part of it. Yeah? Genetic part of it. And you hear some people saying, everybody in our family is big. I think you've heard people say that.
Yes, I have.
But then, that doesn't give you an excuse to remain overweight and obese. But there is also a genetic contribution to overweight and obesity. That's why we are not refusing. It's there. So when it comes to weight loss, that's what we are saying. It is important to work with a professional so that then you are looking at all these factors. Yeah. How do you speed up your metabolism? Your diet, because it contributes to weight loss. Yes. Your physical activity, it contributes to weight loss. You said hormones also play a very big role. Hormones like insulin, leptin. Leptin is a hormone that sends messages, chemical messages to your brain to tell you are hungry. Now, anytime insulin levels are high in your blood, and you see insulin is produced when you take a meal, especially a meal that is high in carbohydrates, and more so simple carbohydrates. Okay. Yeah. So remember, simple carbohydrates, we say the sugars or the glucose in your blood. They send glucose and sugars in your blood faster than the complex, because complex take longer to digest and the sugar is released into your blood in small amount. But this one is like an injection into your bloodstream. So the minute you have that, definitely your body responds by producing enough insulin to regulate amount of glucose in your blood, because that is the work of the pancreas. To produce insulin to regulate the amount of glucose in your blood. So now what happens is that any time your insulin levels go up, then the leptin hormone that we're saying is a hormone that sends message to your brain to tell you now you're hungry, you need to eat, you're starving, is also produced at the same time. And that's the reason why. And we can do it practically. Like in the morning, if my breakfast is usually a cup of tea and maybe 2 or 4 slices of white bread and nothing else, for sure, within an hour or at most 2 hours, I'll be having a hunger pang, a serious hunger pang.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, because the minute I took that, insulin was produced at a high amount to regulate that amount of glucose that has gone into my blood. Then leptin is also produced at the same time, sends a message, you're hungry, go and eat. And then, therefore, I'll keep snacking. And that's the reason we've said that anytime I'm having a meal, if I'm having vegetables, we say vegetables are very rich in fiber. I'm having a protein. A protein in the process of digestion takes longer to digest. So I will stay fuller for longer. Then Then I will not keep having the hunger pang. I will not keep feeling starvation. And then also when you combine the carbohydrate and then you have a protein and you have the vegetables, the amount of insulin that is produced is not as much as when I'm having a carbohydrate only. And therefore, it will not also, not make the leptin hormone be produced, and therefore I start feeling, my brain keeps telling me you're hungry, you're starving, you need to eat food. So that is very, very important for us to know. Hormones also actually are the biggest contributors when it comes to weight loss.
Okay.
Yeah, when it comes to weight loss. And I think what is important is to have a balance.
Yes.
Yeah, we are talking about balance. So if I'm always taking a juice here, I'm taking soda, I'm taking biscuit, I'm taking crisps, I'm taking, I'm having, most of the time we snack on high the carbohydrate foods, and most of the time simple carbohydrates. When I'm snacking at 10 o'clock, I'll go for mandazi, a chapati, I'll go for a samosa, and then after another few hours or 1 hour, I'm hungry again because of what I've just explained. So you're always feeling like eating. You always feel like eating. Okay. That, of course, leads to weight gain.
All right.
So that statement that you've said, actually, it's not about willpower only.
Yes.
There are other scientific aspects to weight loss. It's not willpower. Of course, willpower is also key, but it's not the only thing. Okay. It's not the only thing that will lead to weight loss.
All right.
Yeah. We all need to understand these things. And that's the reason why I say it's always good to work with experts. If my child has a problem, the person I'll go to is a pediatrician, because that is a specialist in that particular area. They have more knowledge, they have more skills, and therefore they are likely to help my child. So if I'm having a nutrition-related problem, I will go to a nutritionist for advice, because that is a person who has the knowledge and skills to help me deal with the problem that I'm having. So then I'm not doing guesswork, or I'm not getting information from people who are not experts, and then whatever method I'm using is not scientific, and then it doesn't help me in the long run.
All right. Thank you so much, Emily Wahome, for the great insights. I mean, that was phase 2 of understanding the myths behind losing weight. And I'm sure there are more others that we could not have touched on. Not to worry, you can always drop your comments and I'll forward the questions to Emily. Like she says, it's always important to seek, professional advice. This comes in handy in addressing some of this. And we'll also pick 2 special ones that we'll be pondering on. These are myths, yes, but we'll be looking at them specially. We won't tell you what it is. So at least every other Monday, you're tuned in, waiting to hear from Emily. And it was great having you. And I'm sure you've picked some lessons that could be of importance to you in matters weight loss. So as we get to wind up, we have a minute. So in 30 seconds, could there be any parting shots that you could be having to the people?
Yeah, so my parting shot is that food, I keep saying that food is medicine. I keep telling everybody, even my friends, when we're having food, I tell them, enjoy your food. Because food is medicine. Don't wait to get unwell, then you're going to the doctor for medicine. You know, the medicine that we take, it's not in the natural form.
Yes.
For sure, if I'm having my healthy meals, even infections and diseases, I'll keep them off for longer. Because the biggest building block to immunity actually is food. You remember when COVID-19 struck, you could not find vitamin C supplements on the shelves.
They were expensive.
Why? Because everybody was running for vitamin C supplements. Because we know we have not been taking enough vitamin C. We've not been taking enough fruits. We've not been taking enough vegetables that give us these vitamins. So my advice is, let good nutrition be part of your health. Let it not be something that is, that is out there. Every time I want to have a meal, and the best way, by the way, is just to plan. Like, it's very possible to plan. What am I going to have for breakfast? It's very easy. When you plan, you find yourself eating healthy stuff. So I know for breakfast tomorrow, I have this for my breakfast. And especially breakfast is not you joke around with. You just take a healthy breakfast, you'll not keep snacking.
As they would say, we still do not have that vaccine, and until we get a vaccine, food is the best vaccine. My name is Linda Alela. Thank you so much once again, Emily, and thank you for keeping us company. That's where we get to wind up this segment. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.